I really apologize for interrupting. We're getting a big piece of breaking developments now coming in. There is a new CDS that has now been appointed, Lt General Anil Chauhan, to be appointed as the Chief of Defence Staff. This after that unfortunate demise of General Bipin Rawat. So India has now gotten a new CDS. We are now understanding that the new Chief of Defence Staff will be retired Lt General Anil Chauhan. As I pointed out, after that very unfortunate demise of General Bipin Rawat, who in fact was India's first CDS. India will now get a new CDS, a Chief of Defence Staff, in the form of retired Lt General Anil Chauhan. Remember, there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of names were in the running. Many had also said that possibly, the army chief could also be considered as far as the CDS is concerned. But now we have a clarity as far as who the new CDS is. We have Lt General Anil Chauhan, who will now be appointed as the Chief of Defence Staff. My colleague Tejinder is getting us all those details. Tejinder, after that unfortunate demise of General Bipin Rawat in that air crash that we all had reported extensively on, there was a void that was created. This was a position that we'd seen for the first time. He was India's first CDS. A lot of names were in the running, a lot of speculation on the Chief of Army Staff as well. But talk to us about the credentials of retired Lt General Anil Chauhan, who will be now the new CDS.
Yes, you see, after the unfortunate demise of CDS, the first CDS, General Bipin Rawat, in that air crash, now the government of India has decided to appoint Lt General Anil Chauhan, who retired from the army, as the next CDS. So he will be taking over as the next CDS of the Indian Armed Forces. Lt General Anil Chauhan's career spans to almost 40 years. He has served in the army. Lt General Anil Chauhan had held several command, staff and instrumental appointments and had extensive experience in counter-insurgency operations in Jammu and Kashmir and Northeast India. He is born on 18th of May 1961, and during this he was commissioned in the 11 Gorkha Rifles of the Indian Army in 1981. He was an alumnus. He's an alumnus of the National Defence Academy, Khadagwasla. Then he did his course from the Indian Military Academy, Dehradun. In the rank of Major General, he was the officer, had commanded the Infantry Division in critical Baramulla sector, which is the 19th Infantry Division, which comes under the Northern Command. He commanded a corps at the Northeast and went to become the General Officer Commanding in Chief of the Eastern Command from September 2019 and held the charge till his retirement on May 2021. So he had an extensive career of 40 long years. In all these command appointments, the officer also had important staff appointments, including the charge of Director General of Military Operations. Yes, Ridhima.
Yes, correct. Tejinder, I'll just request you to stay on with us, and now we're getting some other details of the profile of Lt General Anil Chauhan as well. He's been awarded the PVSM or the Param Vishesh Seva Medal, the Uttam Seva Medal, the Atish Seva Medal, the Sena Medal and the VSM as well in his long illustrious career. My colleague Akash also now joining us with more details. Akash, any other details that you're picking up? As I was discussing with Tejinder, also post that unfortunate demise of General Bipin Rawat, there was a void that was created. What has gone in favour of Lt General Anil Chauhan that he is now going to be the next CDS for the country?
So you see, Ridhima, in fact, my colleague Tejinder was pointing out he has an extensive career of 40 years and, talking about several commands. So, talking about counter-insurgency operations and all other things that happen in Jammu and Kashmir and Northeast India. So this was the profile and that was the main reason why he was chosen. Extensive career of 40 years and also the kind of experience that he has was the main reason why he has been appointed. And, this post, as you rightly mentioned, was vacant after General Bipin Rawat. And now we have got the new CDS, Anil Chauhan. And, he will also function as Secretary to Government of India. And, talking about his experience, I should mention this, that, he was commissioned into 11 Gorkha Rifles initially and is basically from, Military Academy, Dehradun. So the experience matters the most, and that's the reason why he was chosen. In fact, our sources in the Defense Ministry are telling us that, he has a vast experience while talking about the terrorism and all the, counter-insurgency operations. And that was the reason why he was the very first choice for the government. And, this post was recently created, and, General Bipin Rawat was the first one to serve as
Correct.
CDS. But this post was vacant from last so many months, and now
And
we have got the new CDS.
And it's been a period of about 8 to 9 months that we had that void actually. I'll just request my colleagues Tejinder and Akash to stay on with us. We also have retired Major General K.K. Sinha. We also have retired Lieutenant General B.S. Jaiswal. Good to have both of you on the broadcast with us. Major General Sinha, let me come to you first. How do you see this development?
I think it is a good move. It has come late, but after 9 months or so, after the demise of Bipin Rawat. But, as far Lt General Anil Chauhan is concerned, he's a very highly decorated officer who has, who has served as a Secretary to Government of India in Department of Military Affairs from the date of when it was actually created. So he has got experience. He has worked under Bipin Rawat. He knows what all things are happening. And he is from 11 GR, Gurkha Rifle. So he is an infantryman who has seen the combat, who has, a lot of experience. So I think it's a very good choice the government, has announced now. And it was a long awaited. We were looking forward. There was some talk that, probably he will, succeed because he has got, first-hand experience. And we have seen that he has got a very, colorful and a very highly rich and experience basically in the combat. He has taken part in many operations. He has been in insurgency. He has been on the appointments. He has been in all front. I think he's the best suited officer as on today. He is retired. And one more thing which has happened, he is a retired. After his retirement, he has joined.
Correct.
So it has a very deep selection. The government has gone into it. And a lot of barriers, the government has broken, that.
Correct. I agree with the point that General Sinha is making, and that's actually the back and forth that was going on, other than the names that were in the running as well, Lieutenant General Jaiswal, that whether we'll actually see a serving officer or will we see a retired officer being brought in. There was a lot of speculation on the Army Chief, General Naravne, also before he took over. How do you see this appointment?
Needed appointment, and much awaited for that matter. And there has been a precedence in other countries also that they have had retired generals as the Chief of Defence Staff. So I think what they took into account was the man's experience and his capability and prowess to hold the chair. So they've done a very deep selection. And the mere fact that they have taken a decision, a lot must have been analyzed, and it's a good move. CDS is required, and they've ultimately taken a decision, much awaited decision.
General Sinha, how do you see his appointment? Because the CDS is a very crucial position as General